started reading the Bible, and I was like, oh, I didn't know this, I didn't know that all of this is in here. So I was reading the Bible, and we were actually doing that for, I think, a couple of years. So we started looking for a church home. There was a group of a Holy Family was walking around a cul-de-sac, and they were giving brochures, like invitations, to a church that was based in Makalaw School at a cafeteria. So it was an Easter celebration, and the whole family was there. We decided to go to that church, and it was I had hope. It was Pastor Brent. Well, actually, Kevin Sear was still there, so it was two of them, and it felt different. It was like something was there that actually I didn't feel. But being stubborn and hard-headed, I was still kind of skeptical. And at first, I just went there because Nancy wanted to go, just to kind of shut her up. I went. But I wasn't paying attention to what Kevin or Brent was saying. I was just sitting there, doing my thing, and being cool, and not singing or not doing anything. I just try to come in late so we don't have to go to that worship because I didn't want to, I was still thinking about what other people was thinking about me. So, and my wife, Nancy, would be singing and praising God, and she would sometimes grab my hand and try to raise it up, and try to raise up my hand, and I was like, don't do that. So I was like, I wasn't really, my heart wasn't really there, but there was a tugging, because of my kidney problems, because of what was happening to me. There was and then there was one service I remember that I went, and I actually listened to what Pastor Brent was saying, to his message, and it was quiet. I couldn't hear his message because I was trying not to, but there was a part of the message that kind of came out. It's like you were hearing something in the background, and then all of a sudden his words would just kind of pop out to you, and you were just like, he had his megaphone and he was speaking to you, and then it would kind of back up again. Before that actually happened, I was praying that everybody was. I had this question, like everybody was praising God, and they were singing, and they were saying something about feeling Christ and His peace and His joy and all this, and I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling the peace and the joy, and so there was this Pastor Brent was speaking about the thing that came out to me was letting the driver's seat. Letting the let go of the steering wheel and move to the passenger side. It's something to that point. Let Him control your life, giving up your life Him and just accepting Him as your Lord and your Savior, and have Him do His will in your life. I wanted to feel that peace and that joy, and I asked the Lord to come into my life and be my Savior and take away the pain. And then the next day, on my way to work, I was going to drop off Nancy, and somehow, suddenly, everything was bright. And we were driving down. I was telling her, hey, look at the sky, look at the clouds. It looks awesome, you know. It looks peaceful, and this joy. I had this joy, like, you know, we were driving down. I wasn't thinking about my kidney problems. I wasn't thinking about any pain. I was just amazed how, you know, how EL Valley was there, you know, with the mountains, and the sky was so blue, and you see the clouds. It was, you know, it was amazing how I felt different that morning. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. This is sweet. It's like, you know, I was telling Nancy, look, the cane fields, all that stuff, you know, it's awesome. And that's when I realized that from that point on, I had Christ with me, and He hasn't left me ever since.
Looking back in those times, did you ever have a question to God, like, why me? Were you angry? Did you get angry at Him, or why is this happening to you?
Yeah. Well, the why me part, I had that question when I was diagnosed with the kidney problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was asking Him, why me? Why did I have that problem? And then, you know, you ask the Lord, He answers you. And He answered me like, the reason why He chose me was because He loved me. He knew that the only reason, or the only thing that would bring me to Him was pain and suffering. You know, I was asking Him, why me? And then He answered me, it was because I wanted you to come back to me. And like I said on the first time, how I came to the Lord, I came to Him because of the kidney problem. The question was, I was asking Him, and that was the answer. He wanted me to go back to Him. He wanted me to ask Him for help. He wanted me to realize that I needed Him. That's why it was me that He chose. When I was doing peritonitis for 3 years, everything was fine, everything was okay, everything was cool, and, you know, no problems. I started drifting away again. I started to, you know, grab the steering wheel. I tried to make my own path, and I was trying to do it my way. And the peritonitis, or the infection, and, you know, all that, when I got infected, I was like in and out of the hospital for 1 year. Like 2006 was really bad. I was, you know, I think 3 or 4 times I was in and out of the hospital trying to get the infection out. That was again a wake-up call for me, because I was getting away from the path, and that was the answer to the question, why was it happening to me? And again, because, you know, the Lord told me, because I love you and I want you to stay on my path, and I want you